All right, all my little YouTube motherfuck faces. You're watching Validation Boy live stream, June 28th, 2023. And I figured I'd respond to the lunacy, to the stupidity that goes on in the true crime cuckold scene. And this video by this young lady, I guess you could call her a lady if you really wanted to. This lady is just the prototypical fuckery that needs to be responded to. Nothing against this woman personally. It's just the ideas that have been, it's not even the ideas that she presents. This is the ideas that she parrots that have been implanted into her head because she's a susceptible vessel, just like most people out there. And they just believe, they're just totally cucked for the mainstream media. They just believe any crap. I see you guys in there. We'll get to it. But yeah, this person right here and the kind of things that they say in their video that I'm about to share with you. Now, I'm not going to be able to play the video because I don't have the technology. I don't have the money. I guess you have to have a second screen, a whole nother computer. Maybe I guess you could do it with your phone as a second screen, but I don't know. It's just such a hassle trying to actually play a video from YouTube while you're doing a, StreamYard live stream, you know? I wish I could somehow download videos into my computer, but YouTube won't let you download videos. And then there's hack programs, but then they mess up your computer. So I just don't know what to do. I don't care that much. So I figured a way around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio through a speaker that you guys can't see. And hopefully it all works out just fine. But yeah. So the problem with these people, these cuckolds, okay? These authoritarian bootlickers. The problem with them is that they're in too deep. They put all their money, they placed all their bets on their horse, which is the state, the prosecution. And they have all their bets in on that horse in this race. And they're invested at this point. They've already created so much content. They've already put so much on the line for their own reputation that it's going to be tough for them to have to go and delete, 150, 250 videos that they've made talking about how BK is the killer once he gets completely exonerated and released. And when he does that, I might even crack open a bottle of wine and celebrate. I might go out in the streets and scream at the top of my lungs, yay, yay for justice, yay for real justice. Because everyone who has half a brain knows that this is the most obvious framing we've ever seen, probably in the last 50 years in this country. This is a blatant fucking framing of an innocent man. And see, now, the problem is with these people is that because they're so invested, because they put all their bets on their horses for this race, they can't admit to themselves that people in positions of authority have been lying to them. They don't want to admit that to themselves. They just can't admit it to themselves. Same thing when they're running around thinking that man went to the moon, or insert any other many various number of fucking hoaxes that we all know are hoaxes. And they just don't want to believe it because they're so invested in it. So they can't. They don't want to look stupid. They're scared to be wrong. So they double down, triple down, quadruple down. And they're really just playing the fool. You're just playing the fool, Christina Randall and all you others. True Crime Time, True Crime Rocket Science, Bed Crime Stories, Grizzly True Crime, Annie Elise, What's the Obsession, who else we got? True Crime Time 007. What's that one closet homosexual guy? Tyler Feller. Well, that's just allegedly. I can't say that for sure. I'm not saying that he is one, but a lot of people have said that, and I'm not sure how I stand on that. So yeah, the closet boy. And all these people, they're all cucks. They have all gone balls deep, as harsh reality would say. And they're just playing the fool for their fucking overlords. And the thing is that the reason I'm so adamant about this case, the reason I give a shit about this case, this random murder case, is because I relate to this shit. I relate to authority figures being set in their ways and knowing that they're wrong, and knowing that I'm right, and then abusing their position of authority to get things to go their way. I've had that happen to me all my life, going back to elementary school. I used to punk out my elementary school teachers and be smarter than them and put them in their place and teach them how to be adults. And it would drive them insane because I would speak to them exactly the way I'm speaking to you right now as a full-grown adult when I was like 6 or 7. And it blew their minds and they hated me. They thought I was like some little demon or something. Like, how does this kid know how to fucking not only communicate like an adult, but like twice the adult that I am? You know, and it would piss them off. And I would punk them out and make them feel really uncomfortable. And they hated my guts for it. So what did they do? They just abuse me, punish me, do this to me, do that to me. I'm used to this shit. I'm used to YouTube being cocksuckers to me. I'm used to my cell phone provider just being a bunch of fucking cocksuckers. I pay all my bills on time. Everything is perfect. When it comes time for when their shit starts fucking up and I call, hey, I need your help with something. Oh, fuck you. Pakistan all the way. Fuck you, America. And shit, you know? I'm used to it. I'm used to all the hate, the hatred, and bigotry, and racism, and sexism that gets sent straight at me for being a white, heterosexual, Christian male. The most persecuted fucking group on earth. On this entire flat earth. So, you know, this guy stood out from the pack. BK stood out from the pack. And somebody tipped the cops off. And that's why it took him 49 fucking days to frame him up and make a whole bunch of shit fit around him. And then you still got these authoritarian fucking cuckolds out here pushing shit because they're too weak. They don't have the sack to fucking think outside of a box. You know, in this case, the prosecution is withholding evidence. Ann Taylor, the defense attorney, has to play nice because she knows how corrupt and evil this authoritarian court circuit is. And how corrupt this mayor and this governor and how this university has so much influence on everything that's happening here. And she knows she's in pretty deep and that it's going to be a huge uphill battle. But it's also obvious that there's corruption from the top to the bottom. So it's going to be a circus. When everyone knows that she's right and BK's innocent, but that the court is so corrupt that they just keep dumping fake shit after fake shit after fake shit onto this innocent man. This is a perfect demonstration of authoritarianism and totalitarianism. This is an abusive, satanic government. It's an antichrist government. The state of Idaho and the United States of America. And when they did their grand jury, I've heard people out there speculate on this. When they did that grand jury indictment of BK, all that was a response to Ann Taylor's request that Bethany Funk appear and present her exonerating evidence for Bryan Kohberger's case. So instead, somehow the state managed to make it where, no, she doesn't have to testify. And on top of that, we're now going to use a cheat code and do a grand jury indictment, which means literally nothing. It holds no weight. But it looks really bad. So all they're doing is just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. And it's all transparent, and all of us who know can see straight fucking through all of it. Now, not only that, this knife sheath this fucking knife sheath, which was used as grounds to arrest the suspect, is now not going to be used by the prosecution. So just on that alone, he should be immediately released, or at least immediately given a very low price bail. Immediately, right now. But somehow, that's just not happening. And we'll talk about the sheath more later. And it took the other people on the scene 8 hours to call this quadruple homicide in to the police. 8 hours. Those are your suspects. Those people are your suspects. The ones who sat there sniffing the rotten pork stench of death, human death. They sat there festering in it. Festering in it for 8 fucking hours. What were they doing? Were they like jerking off to the smell of death? Were they like fucking each other in the butthole and shit in there? What were they doing? While there's dead corpses and blood, gallons and gallons of blood all around them. By the way, which there's zero genetic evidence of any of the victims anywhere on Bryan Kohberger's person, in Bryan Kohberger's automobile, in Bryan Kohberger's office at the school, in Bryan Kohberger's apartment. Zero. So he's such a fucking mastermind that he can somehow do a quadruple fucking mega slaughter, a big huge satanic fucking sacrifice, ripping people to shreds with a fucking knife. Okay, decapitating people, cutting fingers off and shit. He could do all that. But the only little thing is a speck of his DNA on the inside of a knife sheath, which, even if it is there, literally proves nothing. It could have been something he touched 5 years ago, 2 years ago, like JB was saying. Even if that knife sheath had his blood and everything all over it, and it was in the house touching one of the victims, that still doesn't prove that he was there at that time doing that crime. It just doesn't even prove shit. So the sheath is shit. It's garbage. The cell towers are shit. They're garbage. Took them 8 fucking hours. And then not only that. So big profile case, right? The guy who slaughtered those 4 innocent, beautiful young little angels over in Idaho who never did anything wrong in their whole entire perfect little innocent angel lives, right? That guy. Shit, I forgot what I was going to fucking say, guys. Shit happens. Oh yeah, that guy. Huge profile fucking case, right? The guy who did that. This horrible, heinous crime, right? So they go to Pennsylvania to arrest him, right? And it's apparently a massive raid. And there was like many dozens of police and tanks and fucking, missile launchers and shit that they all had, sniper teams and shit set up in the tower that they had to take this motherfucker down, right? Not a single one of those 100-something or 50-something plus police, not a single one of them had their body cam on. Not a single one. Wow. What a crazy coincidence that all fucking 50 plus, 100 plus officers didn't have a body cam on them. Not one of them. For this huge history-making super case that's it's already been in the headlines for how long? And once it goes to trial, it's going to be all over the fucking headlines. But somehow all of those dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of officers, all of them forgot to turn their body cams on when they made the arrest. Isn't that crazy? That doesn't sound shady at all. That sounds totally fucking legitimate. It's obvious that they're not framing this guy. Like, give me a fucking break, man. You people that say that this guy's guilty, you're disgusting fucking demon pigs and shit. You're disgusting pigs. So, let's get to it. Let's
Basically, she was saying that they are handing over evidence, but she wants more. She wants more stuff, and that's where the issue is. Something else I wanted to talk about is the fact that the state's attorney has come out and said that they are going to be going for the DP against Bryan Kohberger. So if he's found guilty, they are looking to have him sentenced to death, which went.
So they're overselling. They're highballing the sales pitch by saying, yeah, we're so sure that we're going to go for the death penalty. It's not the other kind of DP. You can see by her neck tattoo here where all the DPs have happened. Okay, I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on.
The prosecution goes after the DP, which is obviously the highest form of punishment, that or life in prison. Some people think life in prison is worse, but when a prosecution goes after...
The ultimate punishment comes from God in the afterlife. That's the ultimate punishment.
The DP, because it is such a, and I'm putting this in my own words, because it is such a serious form of punishment, like literally the possible ending of life, the defendant typically gets more money added to their defense, which makes me think as of now, that the prosecution really believes in their case. I know that the prosecution did go and talk to the families of the 4 Idaho students, Maddie, Kate.
And I don't mean to sound cruel, but who gives a shit what the parents have to say? Who got DP'd?
Haley, Ethan, and Xana's families and got their input on whether they wanted the DP or not for Bryan Kohberger if he's found guilty. But nevertheless, in my opinion, the prosecution has to really believe in their case in order to go after that for him, because now Bryan Kohberger is going to be able to do even more for his defense than if it was just life in prison. So I do think that the prosecution has more information, and I've told you guys.
The prosecution laid out everything that they have in that shady, half-ass Swiss cheese probable cause affidavit. That thing's got more holes in it than the fucking Titan fucking... All right.
This, even with all of the rumors out there, even with everything else, I believe that they believe or know he's the guy. I really, truly do. Something else I wanted to bring up.
They know that he's not the guy, and that's why they're trying to fucking, once again, as JB Gunner says, railroad the fuck out of Bryan Kohberger.
I talked about this on my video on Monday, so if y'all haven't seen it and you want to go and watch it, is all of these rumblings about the fact that there was no DNA from any of the 4 victims found in Bryan Kohberger's car, apartment, house, parents' house, any of that. And so many people are saying, oh my gosh, it's impossible. He should have had a speck of DNA. That does not surprise me. Although
all right, let's hear what she has to say about this.
I was hoping that if Bryan is the guy, that they were going to find that link. But you guys got to remember, this is not, again, your everyday Joe Schmo. This is, I would more expect that if it was a college...
She's saying that BK is just so deep into his studies that he's a mastermind. And he's going to be able to get away with this. I mean, this thing was a fucking bloodbath, okay? I'm not trying to sound grisly, but there's rumors that people were decapitated. There's rumors that fingers are missing. There's rumors that gallons and gallons of blood were all over this house, so much so that it was leaking out of the side of the house. This was like a gory Saw movie scene, the way it's been described or rumored, okay? So... I don't know. You think one guy can pull that off and then also somehow magically not have a speck of evidence on him or on any of his property or anywhere near anything having to do with him? Like, really? Just this random 28-year-old guy? Just this guy?
Student that came in there for some sort of, substance thing, like the rumors are going around online, and they did it. Then there would be bloody fingerprints. There would be this, and this. But the fact that there was a lack of we know of right now, there.
Oh shit. Gotta hook up my battery. Of course it fucking died on me right when I didn't need it to. Let's see what we got going on over here. But yeah. You'll see. These people can't stop. These people can't stop with their licking of the boots of the authorities. And I've even seen people being all worshipful of Daniel from the Drunk Turkey Show just because he's a former cop. I don't have my first 5 in the live yet. When we get to it, we'll get to it. On one hand, they say he's a master. Then on the other, they say he's dim. Yeah, exactly. And when did they get the DNA sample from Brian's dad to match to the sheath? Before or after the arrest? The timing on that is fucked. Yep, exactly. Let's continue.
Footprints trailed through the house.
Let's go back.
Brian is the guy that they were going to find that link. But you guys got to remember, this is not, again, your everyday Joe Schmo. This is, I would more expect that if it was a college student that came in there for some sort of, substance thing, like the rumors are going around online, and they did it, then there would be bloody fingerprints, there would be this, and this. But the fact that there was a lack of footprints, from what we know of right now, there is no footprints trailed through the house. That could be for a couple reasons. It could be because the person did not step in any fluids and take it out, but it could also be because somebody was preparing for this and had the knowledge of how to try to get away with a crime. So
does that mean that Brian Kohberger is that person? Nope. But she's just assuming it is. Because that's the guy that the college, basically, the college town, is presenting to her.
You guys, it's not like they had a whole bunch of like handprints, footprints, signs of somebody pulling somebody's hair out or getting some skin on, get some skin under a fingernail, and they're not matching it to Brian. It's not there. That evidence has not been there. So whoever did this.
So part of me wonders, did the Idaho 4 just do this to each other? Did they just all lose their minds and take each other out? Is that what happened? Or is BF and DM, are these two girls that sat there for 8 hours sniffing dead body, rotten pork stench? Are they involved? Think maybe they had a reason to be mad? Do college girls ever get mad at other college girls? Do college girls ever fuck around with other college girls' boyfriends or other things and ruin their shit or embarrass them? Does that make them want to get revenge? I don't know.
As of the information that we have right now, has to have some sort of knowledge on how to get in and out of these. Also, I wanted to remind you guys that the BTK killer, literally somebody that Brian Kohberger has studied, been underneath, his main teacher that he was underneath has gone into the prisons and visited him and interviewed him, and has been very close with him through the years. The BTK did not get caught because they found evidence, and he was on the loose doing these crimes for 30 years. His own family, his daughters, nobody had a clue, and he worked for the police department at one point.
So once again, Christina Randall is doing what we call an appeal to consensus, and she's just conflating BTK with Brian Kohberger. BTK, as far as I know, did one person at a time and did a long series of murders that were one person at a time. This is a one-time event with 4 grisly, over-the-top mutilations. So it's not even the same MO, modus operandi. It's not even the same MO. So comparing this Idaho case and subsequently Brian Koberger to the BTK killer, psh, stupid. Just stupid, childish, immature, irresponsible, irrational, and fucking dumb. Let's continue.
The reason why BTK got caught was 30 years later, he got bored and started writing letters to the newspaper about it because he wanted people to be talking about him again. At the time that he committed the crimes, they were not able to link what they found there back to him. And so it's like, I feel like in one instance, we're acting like this is like just the bombshell information that they didn't find anything in his car. Yeah, sure, a normal person.
It is a bombshell that there's no evidence linking any of the victims to anything of BK. And you know what? Even if he did clean the car, like some people want to claim, oh, he cleaned the car out with bleach. It doesn't matter. They're still gonna find the fucking evidence. You can't get rid of it unless you set the thing on fire, throw it off a cliff, and then drive it down to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, and then crush it, and then set it on fire again, and then fucking lava from a fucking volcano destroys it. That's about the only way you're gonna get rid of the fucking evidence. Okay, so you can clean the shit out of your car. The fucking cops are always gonna find the fucking trace DNA along the side of the fucking trunk liner thing or whatever the fuck they're always gonna find it. So.
And that went into that house in the heat of a moment and, committed these crimes would probably have something on them. But if you have somebody that has been studying this, who is trained in this, who is known to have a personality to be the smartest person in the room. We heard about how he was as a teacher's assistant and
okay, that's old information and it's all been thoroughly debunked. And see how she's still pushing it here on June 28th of 2023. Christina Randall is still sitting here pushing this shit narrative of BK was fucking hard on the girls. BK was a hard teacher's assistant on the girls. And he was an incel. All that shit has been thoroughly debunked. Thoroughly debunked now. But she's still pushing it. She still got your back, guys.
But the students said
with her fucking, 1.9 million fucking subscribers. She's still, she's still there for you.
About him and how he was constantly is known to have a personality to be the smartest person in the room. We heard about how he was as a teacher's assistant and what the students said about him and how he was constantly getting in trouble at the universities.
Prove it. All lies. All fabricated. Just like Ashley Banfield. You're no better than Ashley Banfield at this point, young lady.
For basically trying to show his dominance and being against women and so
still pushing the fucking lie. Pushing the lie. But just remember, y'all are my babies. Right, Harsh? Should you really still be doing that whole thing, Harsh Reality? I don't know, man.
Come on, you guys. I don't know. It just is
I don't know.
It makes sense. And this is what I'm thinking. Again, all my opinion and speculation. I'm thinking that the police came in there to investigate the crime scene. They realized,
Let's hear what the mainstream media has put into this young lady's head.
I don't know. It just is it makes sense. And this is what I'm thinking. Again, all my opinion and speculation. I'm thinking that the police came in there to investigate the crime scene. They realized, holy cow, this is crazy. This is a big deal. They get the FBI involved. They get other counties involved. And when they start narrowing things down, okay, and they're probably making mistakes along the way, when they narrow things down and they get down and they hone in on Brian Koberger and they realize his history, his training, his schooling, and they start putting it together with what they found and have not found at the crime scene, I think they were like, oh, crap.
We really have no legitimate connection. So we're going to have to force everything through when it comes to this Brian Koberger guy. Oh, crap. Took us 49 days. People are going to shoot holes through all of this crap, this PCA that we have. Oh, crap. Yeah, exactly.
You're dealing with somebody here that knows how we do these investigations, knows what to leave behind and what not to leave behind. And I think they were like, we have to approach this in a different way. That's just what I'm thinking. Lastly, and again, pure speculation and pure.
So she's making this like, she's making BK out to be some total badass, you know, like almost a damn superhero. She's almost fetishizing him like he's that character Dexter in some weird way.
My opinion, I want to bring it back to Brian's first mugshot right here. Okay. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm not a lawyer.
She's showing that one shot where he's in green and he's just staring straight at the camera. Let me see if I can get over to it. And yeah, we do have the first 5 in the live. I should be getting over to that. I'm going to do that for you guys. I'm going to get the fucking first 5 in the live. Let's see. That's where I need it to be. Perfect. Hopefully that worked. Okay. Let's continue.
Just a regular person like y'all, talking to y'all like if we was sitting on the back porch talking about this case, like, let me tell you about this. Just pure opinion. Is this the mugshot of a person that is completely arrested for this? I would never, just pure opinion. Is this the mugshot of a person that is completely caught off guard? Oh my gosh, why am I being arrested for this? I would never, or is this the facial expression of somebody that's like, game time? All right. And
who fucking knows, man? 1:50 in the morning. Your house is surrounded by helicopters and tanks and SWAT teams and snipers and missile launchers, and there's smoke bombs and grenades being thrown at you, and you got people coming off the ceiling with fucking knives aimed straight at your throat. You know? But no one had a fucking body cam on for any of that. But yeah. So he already knew when he was getting arrested that none of them were using their body cams, and he was already fucked. So you look at his face right there, he knows he's fucked by a corrupt system that came to a whole nother state to track him down and frame his ass up for some shit that probably a corrupt cop or a family member, son or brother of a corrupt cop in Moscow PD is responsible for these murders. Let's continue.
to be fair, okay, when you're getting a mugshot, somebody could have made a joke in the background and they snapped it right at that moment. He could have been sad before and then it was snapped. We don't really know, but you got.
Yeah, you know, and what else we don't know? We don't know if this whole thing is one gigantic promo, HOA, and then it ends with an X. We don't know if it's just a massive promo. Because sometimes these things are basically a commercial. And it's a weird, demented way to think, but somehow this... What's that fucking stupid movie? The one with the fucking dreams. Whatever. Inception. This is like that Inception shit. Yeah, you're hearing this story about how fucked up this town in Idaho is, but at the same time you're hearing and seeing all these images of like, wow, it's like peaceful and quiet. I'm sure there's good parts of Idaho and like Oregon and Washington. Maybe we should move over there. It's all mind control, all of this shit, this whole entire case. So we don't even know if the whole thing is just an elaborate stage play. But we can't say that because then I guess you could get in trouble if you claimed that. So I'm not going to actually claim that outright. But some people out there might claim that the entire thing is a fucking grand staged play. People have theorized that on other huge and famous incidents before. But the thing that takes me away from that in this case is the fact that it's only homicide. It's not a mass thing. It's not terror. It's not guns, bombs, explosives, none of that. It's totally personal. This shit happens all the time. Maybe not 4 people. And definitely not 4 people done by one person, you know.
Gotta admit, with everything that we know now, the training, the fact that there was a single source of DNA that matched Bryan Kohberger's to the octillionth.
A single piece of DNA that could have easily been planted on the scene by a corrupt Moscow police department. Derp.
And I'm telling y'all, he didn't. He thought he got, in my opinion, he thought he wiped everything clean. But that one speck of DNA was on there. And for the people out there, and I love y'all, I'm just letting y'all.
So meticulous that he left an entire knife sheath behind. It doesn't even make sense on its face. Why, if you were such a mastermind, you wouldn't just leave that, and you wouldn't do it to taunt because you're like BTK. You're just projecting all these weird fantasies and desires that you guys have onto Bryan Kohberger. I don't know if it's a sexual fetishization. Pulled it off. But there's definitely something going on there. Ladies, weirdos, fucking weirdigans.
No, I disagree with y'all, okay? But I'm reading y'all's comments. I'm seeing what y'all are saying. But for the people that are saying, why would there only be one speck of DNA? To you, I say, if there was no DNA, if there was no trace of a perpetrator, there would be people that would say, man, they would have to have dropped something. I mean, just one thing, just one eyelash, one eyebrow, one speck of skin cell. Well, here it is. Here's the one speck. Because everything...
No. An eyelash or an eyebrow or a skin cell would have fallen off. This is something that was embedded. This was embedded in the fucking little snap that was planted on the scene by corrupt pigs that are trying to get their young brother or their young cousin or their dad or their business partner, their buddy, their friend, get them protected from having to fucking pay the price for committing this crime. So they're going to frame up this guy that they don't like because he actually is the smartest guy in the room. And therefore, fuck, we hate that guy. Let's fucking take that guy down. I always hated that guy. Yeah, fuck him. Let's frame his ass. It all makes perfect fucking sense to me. Because he is the badass. He is the guy that's envied. He is the guy that's hated. It looks like he was the one getting all the fucking pussy. Because there's been a lot of girls coming out saying that they were fucking with him. And how many ladies are trying to marry his ass while he's in jail right now? So, incel or not? I don't know. You tell me. Let's do first five in the fucking live. In at number 1. Into the Break. In at number 2. So Nice, You Gotta Say It Twice. Schlumminger. In at number 3. Chicken a la King. In at number 4. Danger Man 5. And in at number 5, with the comment 5, Common Sense Philosophy. Excellent. We also got OJ McBaggins in here, who says titty sprinkles. And then we got Common Sense Philosophy with an interesting take. What? Oh, look at me getting educated. Look at me getting educated. Look at me getting educated and then educating you guys. XYZ. OJ McBaggins. XYZ says, hello, YouTube. First 5. Come on, Schlom. It's not top 5, it's first 5. But if there was a top 5, you'd definitely be in it. Very near the top. Very near the top. Let's continue.
Else was obviously meticulously cleaned. And I've also seen people online say, well, wouldn't they have been able to tell if he cleaned his car with bleach? Maybe he didn't clean his car with bleach.
Maybe he didn't have to clean his car at all because he's not the fucking killer. Because cops would find it if it was anywhere on any surface of any part, inside, outside, all torn apart, broken down. They will find the edges of every little fucking thing, and they will find it. Okay? And he didn't have time to do any of that. Look how shitty and fucked up his fucking car was when they pulled him over in Indiana. It was nasty as fuck. He didn't have time to clean any of that shit. And then if he was at his house, and they said that he was cleaning it at his house. So the cops are going to sit there and watch him clean the fucking evidence and then arrest him after, knowing that all the evidence was washed away. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It really just doesn't make sense. Because then it would be like they could just claim anything. Oh, yeah, we watched him wash all that evidence away. Yeah. But we know it was there. We don't have it, but we know it was there. And since we're cops and we said that he washed his car and we just sat there and watched him do it while we stuck out his house, staked out. Yeah. Then, of course, he's guilty. Right? Hello, YouTube. That still frame of the Elantra was going the wrong direction and at the wrong time. Yeah. That one was just that woman who worked at that gas station trying to get her 15 minutes of fame. That's all that was.
And was found wearing gloves. And also seen people online say, well, wouldn't they have been able to tell if he cleaned his car with bleach? Maybe he didn't clean his car with bleach. The man was found wearing gloves.
Oh, gosh. Crazy. That proves that he must have been in that house at that time on that day doing those things to those people. That must mean that. Because he had gloves on in Pennsylvania 49 days later while he's separating trash, which is like a state required law where you got to separate the recycling from the trash or whatever it is. Or whatever the fuck he was doing. It's none of your fucking business. It's none of your fucking business. And it doesn't prove that he did those things to those people at that time, in that place, on that day.
In his parents' home and taking trash to the neighbor's house in the middle of the night, and that was not like him, allegedly, according to his sister. She thought it was weird. So weird, she went out and checked his car herself because she was like, why?
The source on that, please? The source on any of that? Once again, fabrication. Once again, Ashley Banfield lies. Ashley Banfield's little ghostwriter that she has that just straight up makes bullshit lies up and then puts them on News Nation as if they're stories. And they just throw the word allegedly in there once at the very end of it. But they hype it up as if it's actual reality when it's literally handwritten bullshit from 15 minutes ago that they just made up because they are bigots and they hate, for example, white men. So they're going to say, oh, this guy must be a fucking racist or sexist incel. That's what they're going to say about him. Because that's who they just hate right now. That's who their bigotry and their hatred is focused on. So they're going to take a situation in Idaho and they're going to start talking about, oh, men need to worship vaginas extra hard. Because if not, then you're all a bunch of Brian Kobergers. You need to worship these vaginas. We're precious. Otherwise, you're just a bunch of BKs and BTKs.
Why is he doing this? Why is he wearing gloves in the house in the middle of the night? Why is he putting his trash in other bags? And just seemed weird.
Why do you dump your fucking tampon in a different part of the trash than the other? Why? What, reasons? Shit, yeah.
I don't know.
It's like none of your fucking business what he's doing with trash and gloves in his house and being a normal human who wants to fucking be a civilized human and take the fucking trash out. And if he was dumping it in the neighbors, maybe it was some extra stinky food. Maybe it was just some rotten ass pork or some rotten ass chicken and he didn't want to touch it with his hands because he was like, shit, I don't want to touch this fungus, fucking rotten ass fucking raw pork guts and shit. So I'm going to put these gloves on and I'm going to separate it from the rest of the trash because it's the extra stinky trash. And I'm going to go take it down to the Johnsons down the street and dump it in their fucking trash can so their fucking trash can stink. That's all that probably was.
Guys, as of now, I think he is the guy.
Of course you do.
And I think this is, like some of y'all have said in the comment section, one big project to him.
It's one big project for somebody. that somebody being some investigator on this case who's covering up for the real killer, who's probably someone related to them or one of their buddies or someone they know or whatever the fuck. What if it was BK squared? What if it was BK number 2? Brent. What if it was him? And they just want to keep him, they don't want to taint him even more. Because he already flamed out the hard way. And is that honorable or dishonorable? Some would say. That's debatable, if his flame out at the end for him was honorable or dishonorable from a military standpoint, former military. But maybe that guy had something to do with this. Maybe not, though. It's unfair to say that about people. You have no idea. So it's unfair to accuse him of that. I'm not trying to accuse Brent Kopacka. But what if it's somebody, what if that's the situation and somebody just is covering up for that, for him, so that his last days are not compounded with such notorious evil attached to his name? Because what if he flamed out that way, but that, what was it, 2 weeks prior or a week prior, he also happened to do this to these people at this fucking house at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And you know what's funny? When I first learned about it, about 2 weeks after it actually happened, it's funny because my initial reaction, knowing that it was between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., I was like, oh, that's the witching hour. And there's 4 people fucking slaughtered and decapitated in a bloodbath at 3 a.m.? On whatever day it was? The 13th and shit? It's like, oh, this is obvious fucking witchcraft, witching hour fucking blood sacrifice. Right? Obviously. So then all of a sudden, about a couple days later, the story gets changed. And they're like, oh no, it was like 4:08 to 4:20 in the morning. 4:20, dude. 4:20, dude. And they switched it up to that. But let's continue. Let's continue with the jokers.
What do y'all think? Let me know what y'all think down below.
No. I'll let you know what I think right here in this fucking video. So yeah. What's going on with all the fucking... We're coming for your children. We're coming for your children. We're coming for your children. What's that all about, guys? Brutal. Brutal. Big Mac Miller Light. Triple elbow cough. Entrance. Let's deconstruct. I had to really rig that shit up, guys. I had to really rig that ass up. Is there anything else on YouTube we can toss about, fuck around, and watch? In this way? Is anything else worth it? No. I mean, like, that channel that we just looked at right here, it encompasses the whole scene perfectly. And there's even a little bit of backtracking that I saw JB Gunner fucking call people out for, which I've been saying for a minute. Well, whatever. Technically not. All right. So yeah, these people, they've been trying to backtrack a little bit because they see that it's all an obvious frame job. And then the state is going to all these fucking crazy lengths. And that the new judge in the case is a fucking alumni of that fucking college. Like, come on, guys. This is comedy. At this point, this is comedy. At this point, if he gets sentenced, there's obviously going to be massive fucking appeals. And it's going to go to higher courts, the Supreme Court, because this is just the flagrant frame job. And he fucking... It's so corrupt that what I'm saying is that the whole fucking state of Idaho needs to be like taken down by the federal government. It's like kind of, or this county maybe needs to get taken down by the state of Idaho. Whatever the case may be, this shit is way too corrupt and it goes all the way up. I don't know how high it goes, but it's going pretty high up. Obvious. What else do we have to talk about? Let's get rid of this. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Fatality. What else do we got to talk about? These people they're in too deep. They're in too deep. You already know what I'm going to say. They invested all their fucking chips. They pushed all their chips in on that horse in this race. They might win, but if they do, it's a dark day. It's a dark fucking day for freedom. It's a dark day for the fucking Constitution. It's a dark day for liberty. It's a dark day for justice. It's funny how all these top true crime cuckolds would be willing to sacrifice their own freedom and their own children's freedom, future freedom, and their own granddaughters, grandsons' future freedom, just so they can make sure that BK, the incel, gets put in front of a firing squad. Because we gotta shoot all the fucking incels. Right? They're willing to do that. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. How cuckolded and bent over these fucking trash YouTube channels really fucking are. The people behind it. Let's get to some fucking comments, man. Let's go back all the way to the fucking... Let's go all the way to the fucking top and see. Tyler Feller, the sticker train fuckboy, needs to repent. They are damned. Malleable minds of cognitive minimalism need to be instructed of their faith. Some pride promoters. Yep. Shout out JB Gunner. The real perp is obviously working with the Idaho pig farm, or is a member of the pig farm. That's a lot of time to get rid of the product. Yeah, this is it. All right, Ethan was in the hallway. His corpse was supposedly propping open the door. He was half in the room, half out of the room, according to the fucking write-up by the walkthrough. Yet 8 hours passed and nobody saw anything. I stayed in my room and didn't see anything. Bullshit, man. Who is being protected? Is it the girls on the scene? Is it Dylan and Bethany? Or is it some other guy? So basically, nothing adds up in this case. Yeah, literally nothing. You gotta check them neck tats, yo. So, let's see what we got going on down here. If a crime scene looks like a cartel hit, it's probably a cartel hit. Yeah, or it's staged to look like, or it's a cartel hit that they were making an example. So they did things to the extreme. And it was a little unorthodox. It was a little bit extreme for those people that normally do that. But it was a message. Hello, YouTube. There was no time to wipe anything down. Yeah, exactly. That still frame of the launcher was going the wrong direction. Maybe the whole story is there just to exist confused and not get harmed, but one being blamed. Let's talk about this. Maybe the whole story is just there to exist and confused, and no one got harmed. But one is being blamed. Now, is that guy really actually a real person that's really being blamed, or is he an actor? Did these kids, are these really just pictures from like couple years back or something. That would mean that the whole parents, they're all, that would, okay, so we can't really go there. I mean, we could, but we're not supposed to. And why did they wait a month? Yeah, why would he wait 49 days to be extracting evidence and separating it in the kitchen at 2 a.m. in Pennsylvania? 49 days later. Come on now. Come on now. We've broken some serious ground. We've broken at least 3 or 4 new ideas just on this live stream talking about this fucking case. I'm going to have to go back through and I'm going to summarize them and make a video out of it. 4 brand new fucking obvious fucking points that need to be made. He's a germaphobe. All right, let's see here. He's a germaphobe, but it's not like him to separate trash with gloves on. I know. Right? Exactly. Just busting all up and just... You know? Just busting all up in here, a fucking bull in a fucking china shop and shit. Big Mac Miller Lite. Was activity on TikTok the only evidence they were awake at these times? That's where the time frame gets shortened. Okay. I don't know if it's... I don't know if that's how that's going to go down. Who knows? I mean, the state can just do whatever the fuck they want right here. CNN tried to justify that chanting, oh, we're coming for your children, by saying that they've been chanting that for years. Like, that's better. Oh, they were like extra serious about it this time. These big true crime shill channels are getting paid money. No better than MSM. Yeah, I know. High treason everywhere. It's disgusting. Oh, someone else made an interesting point here. Motoman X. Motoman MX. Motocross. There was time to wipe things down if you don't call the cops for 8 hours. The governments of the world are all subverted. They're all bent the fuck over and filled up with loads of fucking satanic fucking evil and shit. And it's gone all the way from their fucking ass all the way up to their fucking brain at this point. They've been bent over for so fucking long. So what else you guys want to talk about? You know, there's this whole thing I've been wanting to talk about. And I don't even know if anyone would believe me. It's almost like a story I would have to tell to a buddy on here, like in private or something. I made it 58 minutes and 20 seconds without hitting my fucking nicotine. It's pretty good, right? Let's see what Schlominger has to say. Well, there's this story. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about it another day. It has to do with WWE. And it has to do with this thing that in wrestling there's a thing called an angle, or there's storylines basically. And there's this really long running storyline that's gone on for over 1,000 days, and well before that. And the guy that's involved in the storyline lives about 2 miles from me, and I've delivered to him on multiple occasions. And I gave him my Validation Boy card, the one that you see at the end of my videos. I handed him my card, like on the 15th or 10th time that I fucking delivered to him. I was like, hey man, I got a crazy conspiracy YouTube channel if you want to check it out, just for kicks, man. No big deal either way. Thanks, bro. And he was like, sure, man, I'll check it out. And then this whole thing happens in wrestling involving that guy and the people he's feuding with. And it's crazy. And I know you guys would never believe it, but it's a storyline called The Bloodline. And it kind of happened after he saw my channel and saw my whole thing about the Adamic bloodline. And it's a little crazy, and because there's a world champion that's been going on for 1,000 days, and there was a whole bunch of cross references, and I made a whole elaborate fucking scripted video on it like months ago. But I never released it because it sounds crazy. But I talked about like 25, 30 different fucking crossover elements of what was happening with my content on YouTube to what was happening in the storyline on this fucking TV show. But it's crazy. So we won't, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. Teaser. Never pleaser. An iPhone takes every 5 seconds an photo of the user and uploads to the cloud. If anyone at the crime scene used an iPhone, you should have pics everywhere, anywhere. Big ups, friends in the chat. Throwing the hands up for God, for Jesus. Same thing. All right. My phone company fucking sucks, man. But I think I found a new company. And I was getting this $10 credit. And because of me calling and complaining to them, telling them how much I hate them, they stole it away from me. Just arbitrarily decided to take it away, even though I've been getting it for 3 years. So I figured if I'm going to be paying normal price, then I do need truly unlimited data. I had a shitload of data, but then at the end of the month, it runs out. But the thing is, I never even came close to it until I start having to use this fucking particular application for my employment, which drains fucking data from me, which I didn't know. And then combine that with my severe addiction to YouTube and constant intake of information and education and music and entertainment. My phone was maxing out and it's causing me great headaches. But now I found a company that's gonna do all that for me and port my number and give me a brand new fucking phone for fucking free. So I'm really happy. But the thing is that in my frustration, I paid early this month. And I wish I fucking hadn't. Because now I'm stuck with them for another month. I mean, maybe I could cancel it and maybe they'd return the funds on a prorated. But they are fucking cocksucker demons. And they're all from fucking, they're all Kanduhar. I don't know where the fuck they're from, but they're somewhere over there. And they hate me? I don't know. I try to be nice. They seem nice, but they always end up screwing me. Yo, VB, the media is up to speed with you. Gynosexual is a thing now? I don't know. Gynosexual? The gynocracy is out in the open. I've never heard the term gynosexual. That's very interesting. I can't wait to see it. Look it up. I will. Schlominger. Gyno what? Gynocentric. Just like egocentric. Gyno, the vagina. Gynocentric. It's vagina-centric. That's our society now. Women have the red carpet rolled out for them while having the silver platter handed to them in front of their fucking face, while their feet are kissed and adorned with the worship of cuckolds. And people who want to worship God's creation, for example, a beautiful woman in her vagina, in place of worshiping God, the Father, Jesus Christ, his Son. Instead of worshiping God, they want to have idolatry, and they want to worship the vagina, the form. And they want to worship Mother Earth Gaia. And Mother Earth Gaia is a ball earth because it represents the pregnant belly of a woman. The ball earth is a lie. Our earth is flat. The ball is the pregnant belly representation of Gaia, the Mother Earth. It's all vagina worship, and it's all idolatry. And by default, worshiping of women, worshiping of anything other than God, anything, but worshiping women specifically, and so adamantly, and having entire cultures, and a globe lie perpetuated in the name of it, that's satanic. It's all satanic, but that specifically is extra satanic because it's so deep in, it's so balls deep into the worship of the vagina that it's even more satanic because it's based on lust. And we live in a gynocracy, not a democracy, a gynocracy, not an aristocracy, not a monarchy. You know what I'm saying? A gynocracy. And it's still not enough. Yep, exactly. Exactly what I was just saying. They worship the creation rather than the creator. Man, it's been an hour and 5 minutes. Seemed like it flew by pretty quick. Maybe I should end on a high note. Everyone who's been in here has been named. Big Mac Miller Lite, XYZ. Thank you. Thumbs up. So, in the wise words of Schlumberger. So nice you gotta say it twice. Gyno what? Maybe he has it in a British accent. Or some kind of weird Irish or Scottish. Gyno what? Gyno what? Who knows? Was that racist of me? To all the Cossacks somewhere in the South, like myself and Big Mac Miller Lite. Doesn't this time of year fucking suck, this fucking heat? Doesn't it suck? You guys have kept it tight. I feel like this was a pretty damn good broadcast. Made by Jim Bob's Theological Debates? I don't know. I haven't seen that. Should I go? Maybe I'll go look it up. I don't know. Oh, shit. Bro, it was 106 here today. Yeah, exactly. Man, last year at this time? No, not at this time. Last year in, it was like September. I got in my car, and I think it said 119. 119, bro. I was like, oh, just hit 120, bro. Or maybe I'm exaggerating. No. Maybe it was like 115 or 116. It was something like that. It was well over 110. Yeah, brutal. I'd never seen that in my life before, ever. Never seen that. It was just that one time, that one day, and I was like, oh, man. And it actually, in reality, didn't feel any different than like 105, 100 and shit. But I'm out in the fucking sun all day, too. This is the gimmick right here. This is the gimmick. So, yeah. They're good, VB. Okay. Last year we got up to 125 with the index. Yeah, see, I believe it. See, I think Orlando, for me, I think like 119 might be all-time high record with index, and I just remembered that number or something. And maybe I'm imagining, but I know it was over 112, 113 at least minimum. That's what my car said. Now, that could have been with where my car was sitting. So right on the hood of my car, that's what my car was sensing. But damn, it was brutal. Here in Atlanta, Hades feels like Haiti. Yeah. That's cool. You're in Atlanta? Sweet. Ed's over in Okie. I'm in the Flow. I'm in the Flow Rider. Oh, Florida man. Florida man does YouTube live stream. And then Edard, Big Mac Miller Lite, is over in the Okie Badokie, and you're in the hot Atlanta. Into the break. Hot Atlanta. Oh, look at that. And then, but I can't lose my shit, dude. I can't lose this. No, this is fucking precious. This is precious right here. Whew. Am I just a fucking madman? Has VB just become a fucking madman? Are there invisible controllers? Stop tossing about, guys. These fucking demons are coming for your children, okay? So stop tossing about. All praise to Jesus Christ. All praise to God. All praise our Creator. Seriously, think about that for a second. All praise God. All praise to God. Your Creator. Your salvation. Your Savior. The one who redeemed you to return to Him. the afterlife. Think about all those things. It's fucking crazy. It's intense. The older you get, the worse it gets, guys. This has been Validation Boy live stream, June 28th, 2023.